KBTX Broadcast Center here at Kyle Field. Time now to get the players' perspective on today's game for former A&M quarterback Stephen McGee and former defensive back Jordan Pugh. First off, a question for both of you guys right now. Where do you think this team is right now heading into the final 3 games of the season?
I can answer that one. I can answer that. They have an identity crisis. I think that's where the team is. They don't know what they are. They don't know if they're a physical team or a finesse team. We don't have a running game. Our defense can't stop the run. It's just an identity crisis all over the place. You don't know who the quarterback is. There's no consistency. There's no chemistry. There's no flow. The team is period right now. The only highlight is the special teams and defense getting turnovers. So right now, the biggest thing is an identity crisis with this team.
Well, it's funny. You're sitting up there watching the game last week thinking, who is this team? Who stole these guys' jerseys? I thought I was watching John and Darryl play football. It was bad. But then you think back to some good games, too. Arizona State, Mississippi State. So there's still some really quality wins and a lot of talent. So there's a lot to be desired because there's so much potential, like you said. But the play on the field just hasn't been there.
Right.
We've seen all 3 quarterbacks play so far this season. Stephen, if it's up to you, who would start tonight?
Well, I got a text from one of my friends last week. He said, McGee, we should have 10 stars on the bench right now. So if you ask the fans, they're already ready for the backup. Jake Hubenak. Heck, I'm calling for Seabiscuit, number 14, Connor McQueen. At the end of the day, all that matters is that you win. And neither guy this year has gotten wins. But they're 18, 19 years old, too. So you're asking a lot of these guys to perform in the SEC at an early age. So a lot of talent, but somebody's got to step up to the plate and lead this football team to wins.
Exactly.
We've talked about the defense struggles quite a bit on the show and throughout the season. Where do you think the team's mindset is? How frustrated are those defensive players that they can't stop the run?
Oh, man, they got to be frustrated. When you look at it, 311 yards last week, that's ridiculous. I want to say 250 plus to Auburn or South Carolina the week before. It's ridiculous. It is what it is. It's almost to the pitiful level, if you want to be honest. But as a defensive player, it's frustrating because you can't stay in those gaps. You're not sustaining anything. You're not getting off the field. So as a defensive player, you have to take those frustrations and you have to take it against a team like Western Carolina, and you have to dominate those people. So I think it's important for them to take their frustrations out on them.
One final question for both of you. Stephen, we'll start with you. What will keep the team going for the rest of the season? 3 more games. And as a player, how do you get ready to play right now with everything that's gone on this season?
I love this position. It was a position I think Jordan and I are both familiar with as players at our time at A&M. Your back's against the wall. It's us versus the world mentality. You are in that huddle. That is all you've got. That is your only friend. These Aggie fans that claim to be your biggest fans, they aren't your fans right now. They're the ones that are trying to put your butt on the bench. And so as a team, you can really come closer and play some of your best football when you feel like you have nothing to lose.
All right.
Agreed?
Agreed.
All right.
He said it. He said it all. Finally, the offensive guy gets it right. You know how it is. But, the defense, of course, has to carry the offense as usual since they're not putting up any points.
Of course.
You know how it is, man. But as a whole, though, the team just has to come together. They have to get that chemistry back. They got to get the continuity back. And I think if they do that, it's us against the world mentality. Everything will take care of itself.
Great stuff from you guys as usual. We'll check in with you one final time later in the show. Time now to go back over to the set with John and Darryl and see what else is going on today around the SEC.